The Seahawks remain active through this phase one period of free agency, picking up Giants safety Julian Love on a 2-year, $12 million contract. Julian's coming off his best season for the Giants, where he accumulated 124 tackles for them and also garnered a 70 PFF grade. So he is legitimate in that respect. That's a solid season for a safety. And Julian is a very interesting player, and this is a very interesting signing for me on a couple of different levels. First out the gate, he's another guy that is young. He's only been in this league for 4 years. He's still on his rise. Does this sound familiar? Like a lot of these recent signings for the Hawks. It's grabbing guys that are good right now, but maybe still do have a little bit, even if it's just a little bit of top end left to them. This guy also does provide a lot of flexibility. He started out his career with the Giants playing in the slot. He's been moved to strong safety. He's been having positional time over there at free safety. He's been moved all across the board for them. And this is important because within this new defense that the Seahawks have adopted over the last couple of years, you're going to ask your free safety to do strong safety stuff and your strong safety to do free safety stuff. You do this in order to better confuse offenses and quarterbacks, both pre and post snap. So you can mix up your coverages better. You become less predictable. Something that you can't quite frankly do with Jamal Adams at safety. Adams, even when he is healthy, is not this kind of guy. He is more your traditional in-the-box type of safety. And when the Seahawks did make the trade for Jamal Adams, it was under the auspices that you were going to move him around into that role a little bit like what you had with Cam Chancellor, where he's just down there to headhunt and do damage, so to speak. Well, with Jamal already having the injuries and maybe not being quite a fit here in this situation, this does draw me to believing that this is a signing that indicates one of two things. Either one, on the surface of this, the Seahawks are going to look to more modernize this defense even more in full, take on this Fangio defense more in full, and that would mean bringing out 3 safety looks. There have been many out there of you who have speculated to me many different times that perhaps the NFL is moving from an evolutionary standpoint to more 3 safety looks. This would come at the cost of one less linebacker or one less cornerback on the field. In the case of, let's say, a cornerback, you would traditionally go to a nickel defense. You bring your corner out there as the slot corner. Well, now instead you have a safety down there doing the slot coverage duties. But now you're not backtracking as much for the run responsibilities you would ask for the position. They can actually tackle down there, where that tends to be a thing that can be a bit of a failing on cornerbacks, especially undersized cornerbacks that you'll see in the slot. So providing the 3 safety look has been a place that people thought could be a route where you could hedge around that if you can just find the safety who can do the coverage things you need them to do. So this is indeed a signing that could be an indicator of them looking to go to more of that, certainly. And a lot of you have also thought maybe Jamal would be better down in the box and kind of more of a sub kind of linebacker role, or maybe just kind of playing positionlessly, but down there around the box once again from that. It could be that. The other side of this coin, though, is that this is a signing where the Seahawks don't have a ton of faith that Jamal Adams is going to come back from this major injury. He's already had a litany of injuries here. We all remember last year him having the ligament problem, but many don't remember that he had his fingers fused together and then broke one of those fingers in training camp to the point where he was going to have a cast on his arm. The injuries have been all across the board for him here with Seattle. It's been bad luck. Now, it's not his fault in that respect of things. But the Seahawks could certainly be looking at this situation as one where we don't trust going forward that he is going to be able to get himself back to front or be the player he once was or be the player that we are paying for. At that case, he's got a physical coming up, which could be the full determinant of this. And in that, at that point, if he doesn't look good to go or he doesn't look like they feel like he's going to be ready enough to roll as we get around to training camp, then they probably at that point likely put a post-June 1st designation on Jamal, which would mean then that they could spread out his dead money hit over the next 2 years. But at the forefront of that, you could save some money on his cap hit this year, which would then allow you to go out there and make another signing to help another position elsewhere. I think this is very much potentially likely the case of what they're looking to do. Many are saying, well, no, it's to have the insurance there for Jamal if it isn't the 3 safety look. But to that, I would counter, you already had Ryan Neal on the roster. And Ryan Neal was perhaps maybe the Seahawks' best defender last year in full. So you already had the insurance on point if you were looking and worried about Jamal not being able to be good to go come day one. So that one doesn't quite add up to me on that respect of things. This does seem an indicator of one of, they maybe are open to rolling with 4 of these guys going into the season, but I think it's also one of, they think that they don't have a lot of faith in the fact that Jamal is going to necessarily bounce back from this injury. Either way, we'll find out soon on that. And regardless, it does make this signing a solid signing. This kid is an above average strong safety out there if you're going to have him roll for a full 17-game season. My name is Brandon Kane. This is the Hawks Nest. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. But beyond all that, don't you ever forget. Go Hawks.